Oh, holy cow, look at how this thing turned out. The Sebring orange and blue interior. Woo!
Make the ground shake.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. It's going to be a little bit different of an episode because I'm in my car on the way to work this morning. I'm a little hungover, I guess, from last night, from watching the Corvette reveal. It was absolutely amazing. You know, it's interesting. I was reading every comment and everything online as it was happening and as photos were being released yesterday, and absolutely nothing that came out was a surprise. You know, we knew the engine, we knew the body panels and what it's going to look like. Pictures had leaked before, renderings had been made before. The car looks exactly like the renderings. I think some of the proportions are slightly better on the actual car than the renderings, but it looks the same. We knew what it was going to look like, and it was still amazing. It was still great to see the interior and everything else. One thing that I think is really awesome is late last night and early this morning, we started seeing some pictures of the actual interior taken by people that were at the show in Tustin, rather than just some pre-produced photography by Chevrolet. That gave you more of a real-world idea of what the car looked like, and I actually appreciated it more after seeing those pictures. So I'll try to share some right here. So like I said, nothing in the design or the drivetrain was really that big of a surprise. We also knew it was going to have dual clutch transmission. It's an 8-speed dual clutch transmission, which I think is awesome. It's a 7-speed in the GT500 and the Ford GT. This one's got an 8-speed. It's not a bad little bonus, especially since this car's really meant to be more of an everyday cruiser. It was even in the presentation by Taj that this is meant to be a race car, for fun car, and also a grand tourer that you can daily drive or take on long trips. And I think they knocked it out of the park with that combination. It's got a trunk and a frunk. You know, I mean, it's the trunk. I was really surprised how they did it. I thought they were going to try to pull it off similar to the McLaren GT, where the engine sat very low and the whole area was open, kind of like the existing Corvette. But that's not the case. They put a trunk behind it. The only concern I have about that is now knowing kind of how it is with the Ford GT, with the trunk right behind the engine in the same engine, like in the same compartment, it gets extremely hot back there. So I'd be a little interested to see how well that heat shield is, how well that heat shield works between the engine bay and the trunk. There was one thing that I think surprised everybody last night. There was a lot of great engineering that they talked about, stuff that's way over my head, but I could relate to a little bit with some of the other cars I've driven. But the thing that really surprised me, and I think surprised everyone, was two numbers. One of them was that the Stingray, which is the base model that they showed last night, with the 6.2 V8 and the dual clutch transmission, they expect to do 0 to 60 in less than 3 seconds. That's incredible. That is faster than the current C7 Z06. That's quicker than just about any other car out there. And the second number that really surprised a lot of people, including myself, was the base price. They said that the base price and base stripped down configuration of the Stingray you saw last night would be less than $60,000. So that means you can get a mid-engine V8 dual clutch 0 to 60 in 3 seconds American sports car for only $60,000 MSRP. That is incredible. So the big question I've been asked a bunch lately, and I've been asking myself a lot lately, is, am I going to get one? The answer to that question, after last night and after everything I've said and read and seen, the answer to that question is yes. But there's a follow-up to that question. The next question is when and in what configuration. So The reason why I say that is I'd really like to see the car to understand the options, the colors, things like that. So I might have to wait till a few of them hit the dealer lots in early 2020 to do that, and that's okay. I'm not the kind of guy who has to pre-reserve a car way in advance with never seeing it and pay a dealer premium to just get the first one in the state. That doesn't matter that much to me, I'm sorry. But what I did want to do is I did want to get a good idea of some of the configuration options for these Corvettes. So I went onto their new configurator, and it blew me away some of the absolutely amazing specs that you can put on this car. Most of the colors are Corvette colors. They have 12 standard colors for 2020 on the Stingray, which is pretty good. And there's a couple of newer colors. There's a bright blue, which I think looks good. There's a bronze and a deep red, which looks good. But for the most part, they're standard Corvette colors. I really, really wish they would think outside the box with their colors. They're thinking outside the box with the design of this car. They're really trying to appeal to a younger crowd. Why not go a little crazy with some of the colors? I love what Dodge is doing with some of their colors, and even what Chevy's done a little bit with some of their other cars, like that snake green color on the Camaro. There was only one comment last night that I thought was a little bit sarcastically, an attack on Ford. There was one comment, I can't remember who said it, but they said something about, like, in the day of cars going to smaller engines and using forced induction, we chose to keep the naturally aspirated V8. That was absolutely 110% a shot at Ford. For both the i4 EcoBoost Ford Mustang and the EcoBoost V6 in the Ford GT. I'll take it. Shots fired. It is what it is. I do think they're going to do some forced induction, obviously, on the Z06 and the ZR1 version of the C8, but they'll keep the V8. I think that line, he said, definitely cemented that there would not be any V6s or any other smaller engines in the C8. So now that you know I will buy one of these cars, and I went online and played with the configurator, what I wanted to do is I wanted you guys to join me in configuring my car. Give me some advice on what you guys think you'd like to see. So I'm going to switch the screen now over to the configurator, and I'm going to go through the different options that are available for the standard Stingray, the different colors, the interiors. I'll spec out a few cool things that I think would look great on this car and show them to you. So here we go. Alright guys, here we are in the configurator. It starts here on the base trim with a torch red Corvette with a red interior. You can take the roof off on this configurator. You can also view the interior, as you can see. So it's a really, really awesome tool to play with. And so if you haven't already done this, go on their website and figure it out. But if you haven't seen this, you can definitely just follow along and we'll go through everything. First, we'll look at the colors. We'll change this first one to black. Black, I think, would look great on this car. We'll also have Zeus Bronze Metallic, which is kind of a dark bronze color. Then we go to Arctic White. It's been a classic color on the Corvette for many, many years. Long Beach Red Metallic, which is kind of a deep orangish, brownish red color, which is kind of cool. Blade Silver, also been a traditional Corvette color for many years. It's just a normal silver. Torch Red, of course, everyone loves Torch Red. It's that classic Corvette red. This ceramic matrix gray, I think I love this color a lot. It's kind of the light grayish color. This Sebring orange is amazing, super bright in real life. Shadow gray metallic, been a color for a while, kind of a dark gray. Accelerate yellow, it's your typical yellow Corvette, but it looks good on this mid-engine. Elkhart blue is kind of a darker medium blue, and then Rapid blue is more of a bright, vibrant blue color. So those are the standard colors for the Stingray. Now we'll look here. You can see the different top options. There's a visible carbon fiber option, there's a transparent roof option, and then there's the solid body roof option. I'm sure they'll also give you options where you can get packages, where you can get 2 or 3 of them. We'll look at the wheels. There's a couple different wheel options. There's a standard 5-spoke wheels, then there's these mesh wheels, which are really cool. All of these come in different colors. There's a gray 5-spoke wheel with a silver trim around it. There's a silver spider wheel, which I think looks really good on the right color. There's also this kind of bronzish gold color wheel, which I think is really cool, again, depending on the right color. And then my favorite is the black spider wheels. These look really good on just about any color, but they look really great here on this bright blue color. We're gonna now go look at the caliper colors. I apologize, the configurator is a little buggy, but you can see there's a bright red caliper color, which I think looks great on just about any color. There's a bright yellow, which looks good on the right color of car. Actually looks pretty good on this blue. And then there's an edge red, which is kind of a darker medium red, but I think it looks great. So now we're gonna step inside the car and look at the different interior options available on the 2020 Corvette Stingray. Now once we get inside the car on the configurator, I've started here with just your basic jet black interior. There's different options. There's a 1LT, 2LT, 3LT, which are the trim packages. If you're used to the Corvette and the way they do their trim packages, this is not going to be different to you. If you are new to the Corvette, then the 1LT obviously is your base model. There's less options and configurations available, a little more on the 2LT, as you can see, and then a little more on the 3LT. So here we are looking at the interior colors. We're gonna switch over to a 3LT option here, and the first option is jet black with red stitching. Of course, that looks really great if you have black exterior or red exterior. Sky Cool Gray, I guess that's a new name, but gray has been a pretty common interior color on the Corvette for a long time. It's not really my choice, but some people really like the gray. There's also Adrenaline Red. Red, of course, is going to look great in a lot of different configurations: white, black, gray, a lot of different colors, and of course a red exterior. The red interior will pop really, really well. I really love this this color right here, this natural color. I kind of call it a saddle color. I think I call it Kalahari or something on the C7, but I really like it. Of course, it depends on the exterior. I think it'll look great in a red, in a white, or in a black. Kind of gives it that for almost like a Ferrari color with that gray or that beige leather on maybe like a red exterior would just look amazing. You can also go to two-tone with the natural, so you have black accents and then the natural colored seats. Then they have the Morello Red, which is a dark red. I'm thinking this color might only be available on a couple of exterior colors or a couple of different 3LT trims because it's a very unique color. And then of course also you've got the two-tone blue, which I'm very sure that that's a unique package. I don't think that's just going to be a standalone option to get this two-tone blue. I don't know if it'll be some sort of a anniversary or first edition or whatever it may be, but it looks really good, and on the right color it looks fantastic. I think it looks great on black and white, obviously, but I actually think it looks really good on the Sebring orange too. That might seem a little bizarre, but when I put them together, they looked good. I'll show you that a little bit later when I'm trying to configure something for myself. You can also change some of the things here on the interior. The carbon fiber package on the dash. I'm zooming in here to show you some of the things that are available. Is the stitching on the steering wheel, the buttons over here on this this like bridge in between the driver's side and the passenger side. There's lots of different things you can do even there, creating just a two-tone option between the red and the black. They've done a really good job of giving you a multitude of options for interior configuration. I think it's a very good job of the way that they put it all together. So I uncovered something also really unique here. You notice they have performance textile down there. And if I click on it, it says it's only available on the 1LT and only available with the competition seats. So I'm thinking this might be a track package of some sort. These are cloth seats, but they're only on the competition and only on the 1LT. Maybe that's kind of a glitch in the system, I don't know, but it's really, really bizarre. I'm interested to see how that pans out. You can also choose suede, which is kind of an interesting choice. Apparently it is a real leather suede material, not, Alcantara or some other type of engineered suede, but I think it looks really good, and I'm kind of a purist when it comes to leather materials, so that's cool. You can also go back to other two-tone options. You'll see here there's a gray and black two-tone option rather than an all gray option. So again, I don't know how that'll work with the pricing, but it's cool that it's different, that can be configured that way. Let's also look at the seatbelt colors. You can change the seatbelt color. How cool is that? There's yellow, there's red, there's orange, there's blue, or you can just use your normal black or natural depending on the interior color. So depending on the color of your interior, depending on the color of your exterior, this might be just another cool way to mix up the car and make it your own, and I think that's really neat. So now here's the time you've all been waiting for, or at least I have, to share with you guys, speccing out my own 2020 C8 Corvette. Now, I wanted to also use this opportunity to show you many of the other unique options with the exterior accents and things like that. But let's narrow things down already. The ceramic gray matrix I think looks amazing. Also with the black spider wheels, I think that looks amazing. I love the transparent roof that I have on my C6, so I would love to have that as well. Notice though, different on this top, different than the previous generations, the surround around the windshield and on the sides of the roof are body color. Only the middle window of the roof is transparent. So that's a little interesting, but I'm sure they did that by design because of the mid-engine configuration and the way it would have looked if it were all a dark color. But I think it's really cool. These wheels I think are neat. I don't think I would pick them, but I like just how unique they are with that kind of bronze pewter sort of color. There's also some body colored accents for the scoop on the side. You can change the color of the mirrors to either be a carbon flash, which is like a gray color, or carbon fiber. You can put this badass big spoiler on the back. It looks wicked. It instantly turns the car into a race car. It's really awesome. No idea how much that would cost. No idea if that would just be a special competition package, but it looks great. Of course, I'd want to make the calipers a different color. I like red, of course. It stands out. It's just that classic cool caliper color. And so this is kind of shaping out to be something that I like. Now let's figure out the interior. I love red, of course. I think it would look great on this gray color, but I also really like this natural color. There's just something about an off-white car with a saddle tan interior that I really love. I wish there was more of a pearl white option, but I think this ceramic matrix gray might do the trick for me. And with this natural colored interior, and just look at the way that looks with the black wheels, red calipers, clear top, carbon fiber accents and scoop, big spoiler on the back. This looks like a supercar, and I love it. One of the other cool things also, you'll see if I scroll over, there is also, you'll see stripes. I don't necessarily want stripes, but they're there. But there's these engine accessory packages, and I don't know how much that'll cost, but it looks amazing. You get this bright red engine cover, and of course, in the way I have this car configured now, I've got the red accents and the monochromatic color with the white and the black, that you throw in those reds on the calipers and then in the engine bay. That would just be an amazing combination. But let's also take this similar look and check out some other colors. Here it is in black. That's a murdered out, awesome looking black supercar. Let's also say maybe we want red calipers if we do black. Of course, we got to keep the black wheels, but maybe do yellow calipers instead. And if you're gonna do all black, maybe you want to get different colored interior. Maybe we want to go with this two-tone blue interior if it's available as a standalone option. So you get this blue color on the inside, you get this murdered out beautiful supercar on the outside with all the big wing and the carbon fiber accents. That is an amazing looking car. We've still got the yellow calipers, still put that red engine accessory package in the back, and it just pops. It looks amazing. I really love also this Sebring orange. You've probably seen it on the 2019, especially on the ZR1. It looks amazing. But it's an amazing car. It's really the one that stands out greatly of the new colors because it's really unique and pops and it's bright. Let's also look at this Rapid Blue. It's kind of a newer, bright blue. I really love it. I think this also, of course, looks great with this blue interior and maybe some yellow calipers like I have on there now. I think the yellow calipers will look good on this color. But hey, let's go back to the ceramic matrix. You'll see the blue interior again looks great. Yellow calipers again looks great. But I really like those bright red calipers. There's something about a bright red caliper that looks amazing. And I love that two-tone blue, but let's go back to this saddle interior. It looks amazing. And maybe it's not your pure sports car black that some people like. Maybe it's not that bright red that some people like. But to me, there's just something that I personally love about this saddle tan interior on this whitish gray color, black wheels, red accents, big spoiler, big splitter, side skirts, carbon fiber everywhere. This car, I don't know the pricing. I mean, this car as you see it right now might be $100,000 after all these options, you know? So will this be exactly spec'd out how I would get it? I really have no idea because I don't know what everything costs. I don't know what the availability is going to be. But I think this is exactly how I would spec my 2020 C8 Corvette. Now I just got to wait. So there you guys have it. That's the 2020 Chevy Corvette Stingray. Just released to the public last night, but won't be available till early 2020. And it's going to be another waiting game here. I think they first announced on 4/11 that the event was going to happen on 7/18, and now on 7/18 they got to say you wait until early 2020 before you can get one. So I will plan on waiting until I see some on the dealer lots and I can kind of see all the different options and the colors and how they work together, drive one and figure out how I want it configured, and then I'll figure out how to get it. But here's the big but to all of this. I'm saying I'm gonna get one, but by the time I do all that and get one, the 2021s might be coming out. Starting next year, they'll go back to their normal production schedule, which, you know, usually means they start producing the cars in June or July, and then they start becoming in dealer inventory probably in like August and September. So then we'll see the Z06, you know. So I might, depending on how things go with the rumors and how things, the timeline go, I might just wait until a 2021 Z06 is available. There's no doubt I'll fall in love with that thing even more. I would actually be more interested most likely in a base stripped down Z06 than in a well-optioned Z51 of the Stingray. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, thanks for joining me today on this journey of the Corvette. It was a whirlwind of a day yesterday, and I think it's going to be awesome today to see all the aftermath and information we see coming out online. So hit subscribe, hit like, please share this with anyone who wants to see the configurator and some of the different specs that are available in this car. And man, I can't wait. It's going to be an amazing car, and this is going to be really a game changer, especially in the American sports car industry. See you next time.